Hey guys, Hero1701 here, and today we're working on Bear Battlegrounds again. That's right, my minigame map, work in progress, Bear Battlegrounds. So today, as you might be able to tell, we're working on the gun again, except I renamed it to Sniper. There's no particular reason, no special reason for that, I just decided I would call it Sniper instead of Gun. If you guys remember in the second episode, which will be down in the description, last time we worked on this, this is what we ended up with. This was a 2,592 command block structure over here that dealt with the directions, the rotations. As you may remember from last time, there's two rotation values in Minecraft. There's a Y rotation and an X rotation determined by, or shown over here in the F3 screen. Again, Y rotation, X rotation. The Y rotation goes all the way around from negative 180 to positive 180 and goes all the way around you. And the X rotation goes all the way from negative 90, which is straight up, to positive 90, which is straight down. And based on those, we determine some pretty big numbers over here that are calculated by some trigonometry in an MC Edit filter that I wrote. We have a 5-degree accuracy in both of these. So the difference in this one is that, unlike that one, the X rotation doesn't range all the way from negative 90 to positive 90, but rather from negative 25, just about there, to positive 25, which is just about there. So that's about the area you'd actually want to shoot a weapon. As I had learned, this is what happens when you don't calibrate the X rotation to 0 just as the Y rotation. Awesome! And after a little bit more work cleaning it up, finalizing it, and making it nice squeaky clean, I have a final design here for the gun, which I renamed, again, to be called Rifle, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But first of all, I replaced the little circuit that was going on back here with a fill clock that is much faster in its responsiveness. Fairly simple little device here. Much faster in the way it responds. It all happens in a single game tick except for what happens over here in this big structure, and I'll explain that in just a moment. The sequence in which all of these command blocks here around the fill clock are triggered is very important. Set the score rifle -1 for any player in the vicinity that's outside of the range, and set the score to 1 for any player that's inside of the range, X rotation range. And we give Iron Horse Armor again to with the name rifle, of course, to anyone who has a score rifle of -1. So we execute at the player here that has a score rifle of at least 1, and is in a very specific range here. So between 177 to -124. So that's sort of this area over here. It's about 60. It's exactly actually 60 degrees. We set a redstone block somewhere over here relative to this block right here, like this block right here is selected, and then relative to that we set a redstone block somewhere, and I'll explain why I do that in just a moment. Then I'm doing the same thing here for a different rotation, slightly different. Again, 60-degree interval, and we set the redstone block in a slightly different position. Same thing again here. We do that 6 times. However, it only actually works 1 time because you're only going to be in a single rotation. But basically, this is to cope with the lag even a little bit more. The positions that the redstone block is being set are here, 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 and here. So basically, as you can tell, this is the same thing I had here before with the 684 command blocks. But I just split it across the center, and instead of cloning a bunch of redstone blocks and triggering them all at the same time, I divided them into 108 command block sections here, or subsections, which only one of them ever gets triggered. So there's only ever up to 108 command blocks in this structure being triggered in the same tick. So that reduces lag even more than before, and now it's completely unnoticeable, very smooth. Uh, and these 6 command blocks basically just determine where to place the redstone block out of these 6 spots, based on the rotation, of course. So after the redstone block is set, each one of these clears it, and then afterwards it sets a redstone block to over here. After triggering all the 108 command blocks, removing the redstone block from where it was set by that machine over there, and then setting another redstone block over here. All of these, by the way, set the redstone block to right over here. Then this one, first of all, resets all the rifle scores, and it does a little particle effect on the actual player who has the rifle score, and it also plays the explode sound to the same players. And then we get rid of the redstone block right there, which basically resets it. So that's pretty cool. It's very, very lag optimized now. It works very reliably. Also, because of how rapid and how fast that clock responds, we can have a very rapid semi-auto gun. Right? You can only shoot as fast as you can repeatedly press your drop button, which is Q for me. And that's part of the reason why I changed the name here to rifle, because, like, obviously you can't do this with a sniper. And you see it being triggered there, so you can see the redstone block is down there. Now if I do this, it's up there. If I do this, now it's up there. If I do this, yeah, you get the point. I'm not sure if I mentioned this actually, but I took the fire effect, the fire thing off the arrows. Just feel like it's better that way. Let's see. Oh yeah, also another reason why I renamed it to rifle is because, well, sniper doesn't really fit it because it's not absolutely accurate. It's moderately accurate, but not absolutely. Also, you can kind of move around with this and sprint with this and, you know, jump around and do stuff, which isn't really usually possible with a sniper, from what I hear anyway. So, yeah. Another thing I figured out is that I can have an item, writing an item, writing an item, writing an item, however many times I want. I have it 8 times over here, all having the age tag of 5,999, which means that in the next tick they will all despawn, because when an item ticks to 6,000, which is 5 minutes in ticks, it will despawn. And then in the same tick, I am executing at any item within a range of 2 blocks and summoning a creeper that will not despawn and that can't move. So this basically, these 2 command blocks summon 8 in this case, but generally speaking, however many creepers I want here. And of course they can be any other mob, and the way I have it set up right now, these guys won't despawn and won't move. I'll just spread them across the battlefield, and yeah, have some fun. Oh shit. I was holding down control. Yeah, don't do that. Don't hold control while you're dropping the rifle thingy, because you'll drop the whole stack. But yeah, as you can tell, it's very nice and accurate, very easy to use now. Oh man, it's so awesome. Over here I have some more things. These aren't actually to do with the gun, but they're anything else that I had up until now that was running on a redstone clock, and another little feature. I just want to have a unified fill clock for all the command blocks that I need to run every single game tick. This clock, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned this. This clock runs every single game tick. It's very rapid. So yeah, so I took 2 sets of command blocks from over there and changed them a little bit and moved them to over here, so that this works. And I can also trigger a crate to form if I really want to. But yeah, so this is to do with the crate. This is also to do with the crate. I'm not going to explain it too much right now. Then this is with the ender pearl thing, and this is slightly different. I actually changed something. I'll explain it in a moment. Let me just take you through this. So endermite once again gets teleported into the void, reset any used pearl score. Then this is another thing I did. This prevents any fall damage, basically. So it sets the scoreboard for any player who is not on the ground, so his on ground tag is 0, so it sets his score to 1 for the objective not on ground. Then it gives the effect jump boost 255 for 1 second, to any player who's not on the ground. And true here, this true here means that it hides the particles, and then we just reset everybody's score. Then here, it's the same thing. Jump boost, 255 hide particles for 5 seconds. This is with the ender pearls, and this is instead of the resistance that I had last time. And this actually works better because I kind of forgot last time when I did the ender pearl thing, but instead of resistance, instead of actually preventing any damage from happening to the player, I could just prevent their fall damage. Now, jump boost, every level of jump boost, I'm pretty sure prevents fall damage to a certain extent. However, there's one level, 255, which is the highest level possible, that prevents all fall damage and lets you jump normally. So it doesn't actually affect the way you jump, but it prevents any fall damage at all from happening to the player, which is really cool. So you won't even flinch if you do that. So right now, by the way, I have this thing constantly because I'm triggering this part over here with the not on ground tag. So if I just quickly, there we go. I didn't even flinch there. Pretty nice. I have no idea what's happening, but check this out. So cool. And there you go. No fall damage. Right guys, so to end it off here, I want to show you some things, but first I want to explain some other things. So, first of all, in here I'm summoning a creeper with fuse 0. This guy will instantly explode once being summoned. Here, I'm summoning a creeper with a fuse of 1, and he also can't move. So this guy's just sitting there, can't move, and the instant I get close to him with a survival or adventure mode, boom. So, to recap, fuse 0 instantly explode upon summoning, fuse 1 instantly explode upon contact with players. I have a similar thing here, just that the creeper has invisibility too, as well. So yeah, so it's an undetectable, instant explosive, player, detector, whatever. Pretty cool. So, we use that as a landmine. Let's check it out. First of all, I throw it on the ground, nothing happens. The instant I get far enough away from it so it doesn't explode on me, it will disappear and there's now a landmine there. Proof. Right, so say I placed it, I'm not quite happy with this location. No problem, just pick it back up. No harm, no foul. But if I do want to place it there, there's a landmine again. Boom. Right, let me quickly go into creative mode so I can take you guys through this real quick. Set the landmine score for any item that is TNT and has the score that has the name landmine and is on the ground. Set that item's score landmine to 1. Then we execute at that item, and we execute again at the nearest player with a radius of 3. So we're checking to see if there's a player within 3 blocks of that landmine. If there is, then we reset the landmine score for that same landmine. And then if it couldn't find a player within 3 blocks, then the landmine score is still going to be 1. And we're going to execute at that landmine, and we're going to summon a creeper. It has a fuse of 1, so it will explode instantly upon contact. He has movement speed 0, max health 1000, and knockback resistance 1, so he won't move on his own. He can't be knocked back if you punch him, if you just somehow happen to know where he is. And he also has invisibility here. I'm not sure if the show particles work. I don't think it works, but it should. I don't know why it doesn't. He's also invulnerable, so he can never die, and persistence required 1, so he won't despawn. Really buff, really indestructible, immovable creeper that will explode instantly upon contact. Pretty cool. Now we're just killing the landmine item entity once that is successful, and resetting all the landmine scores. Pretty simple. So let's just take another look at that. I'm far enough away from it, and the second it hits the ground, it spawns a creeper there then. So let's just get rid of that. Let's see. Next thing, we have the grenade here, which is 9 command blocks over here. So similar thing, or no, sorry, this is quite different actually. Okay, notice this is an add actually, not a set. We add 1 to the grenade score of any snowball every single game tick, so that sort of acts like an age for the snowballs. Then we are doing the same thing for a Wither Skull if it's been marked as a grenade. And this is where that happens, sort of. So we execute at a snowball who has a grenade score of exactly 1, no less and no more. And we summon an item writing a Wither Skull. The item is Snowball, count 0, and age 5,902, so it'll despawn 98 ticks after being summoned here. I'll explain why I'm summoning the item in just a bit, but the main use here is the Wither Skull. And then what we're doing over here is we are executing at the Snowball, and we are setting the scoreboard objective grenade to 1 for any Wither Skull within the same block, and we only do it for a single Wither Skull. And also again that only happens in the first tick of the Snowball's life. So that marks that same Wither Skull as the grenade. We then constantly, every single game tick, we teleport that Wither Skull that's been marked as a grenade to the youngest Snowball. And then when the Wither Skull hits 100, which is 5 seconds, we summon a creeper with fuse 0, so it'll instantly explode, and some invisibility. We then execute at the Wither Skull again, and if it can find that kind of a Wither Skull, we reset the grenade score for everybody. And then we kill that same Wither Skull if it didn't explode on its own from the creeper explosion. Finally, we remove the Wither effect from any players, because if the Wither Skull did explode, then it'll give the Wither effect to any nearby players who didn't die from the explosion. We don't want that, so we just get rid of it pretty simply over here. Let's just take a look at that. There we go. And the Snowball, now you can kind of see what it's used for. It's there to mark where the grenade is, because, you know, I think you'd be aware if there's a grenade nearby you, and you won't just like run straight up to it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. By the way, the fact that the Snowball seems as if it stays right by my eyes over here, that's just a visual glitch. It is actually over there, or it is actually following the Snowball along its course. And yeah, you can see it working there. You can see the scores here on the side, and you can see that they're resetting. So yeah, once this Wither Skull reaches 100, it will explode, and the Snowball here stopped at 7 because after 7 game ticks, it impacted into the ground and got despawned basically. If you're about 20 or so blocks up in the air, you can throw the Snowball straight up and have it explode in midair. Sometimes, if you're lucky. It's possible though. And yeah, I think that's just about it. So to end it off here, we're gonna do something really fun, in my opinion. Just experiment with these guys a little bit. Oh man, I got it straight on him actually. Nice. Right, let's just have some. Come on, man. Let's just have some fun with the gun here. Come on, man. I swear this thing has better aim. There we go. There we go. Right. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I will see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.